name is Paul, and I am a nerd, and we are here for the April, no, it feels like April, the March 2017 PracticeMaster Virtual User Group meeting, where today we are talking about moving things. Mary Jo is going to talk about moving certain records that get put on the wrong client to the right client. And I'm going to talk about moving certain calendar tasks or events, but mainly tasks, that didn't get done to the time when you think now you might really be able to do them using some workflows that we've developed here.
So let's say that you put some record, whether it's a journal record or a calendar record or something under the wrong client, and you want to move it to back to the right client. Well, normally when we come in, and I'm going to just really be going blind here because we've got clients in our test data here that, let's see, Michael Larson usually has something. Yeah. Let's go in here and see what we got under notes. So there's one note. So let's say that this was not a Michael Larson note, but this was something that went under, or it was a Michael Larson note, but it goes under a different matter that I want to put it under. You know, if I come in here and I try to go into this particular note and change the client ID, you'll notice that it's grayed out, and I can't do that. So how do I get this to the right matter? It's not like a fee that I can, you know, transfer it like I can in tabs. So what you can do, though, is over here in Quick Clicks, there's a Change Client ID option. So all you have to do is click on the Change Client ID, and it tells you what the old client number is. And I can change this. I'm just going to move it to a different matter. I'm going to say this was supposed to go under his matter, whatever this is. Well, that's a different client. Oh, that's still Michael Larson. All right, well, we're going to put under that client ID. Say OK. And now I have successfully just changed the client ID, and it's no longer going to be underneath that Michael Larson 00 matter. It's gone, and now it's put underneath the other one. Now this can be used in several different areas. You can use it on the calendar. So if I have a Michael Larson calendar, again, I'm opening the entry. Again, it's grayed out, but I can change the client ID. Now something else that's really cool is, what if I put in all of these calendar entries and they were all supposed to go into the other matter? Well, I can still do this because all I have to do is hit my Shift key, or I could do Control, and I could pick and choose which ones that I wanted to grab. So I think I can do Control. Yeah, there we go. Wasn't clicking with me there. And I still have that Change Client ID over here in the right. So I don't even have to open up the record to move it. I can grab groups, 1, 2, 3, change the client ID. Again, it's going to open up and ask me which one I want to change it to, and it will move all those records over. So super easy to do. I've showed you it in notes. It's in calendar. We can do that in email. This is just our journal notes and our journal entries that are broken apart, all the same. You can also do that on documents. So if you put some documents under the wrong client and you stored those incorrectly, you can do that there as well. So there's a lot of these different areas that sometimes we put in records and we put it in the wrong place, and we don't have to delete it. We don't want to re-enter it. We just want to move it to the right spot. And now that is available over here on the right in Quick Clicks. Now fees, you can't do that. You cannot change the client ID in fees. That is not an option that's available here. That is something you'd have to transfer transactions, usually in tabs. So just keep that in mind, and same thing with costs. That's something that you would transfer the transaction to the proper matter. But these other entries in PracticeMaster, you can do that just using a click.
So basically anything that's tied to the matter except for those fees and costs. You won't, well, you can imagine, Mary Jo, but the people that are listening can't imagine how many people that escapes, including us for a little while after they added it. People fret over this all the time. I've seen people delete things and then re-add them, copy them to like Notepad and take a note and put it in Notepad and then delete the entry and put it in someplace else.
Well, and sometimes people don't have the rights to delete items. So they've entered a calendar entry, it's in the wrong place, and they can't delete it and re-enter it. They could re-enter it under the right client, but then it's still left there in the old one.
Yeah, exactly.
So they don't even have rights to do that. But most of the time you can change that client ID, and you can move it properly without having to delete or to actually repeat the process.
Exactly. And I'm going to talk about how to move things not from one client to another, but from one day to another. Now, I look, and I've got to, first I've got to tell you that I look at my calendar items in a separate window, and I don't look at them as part of, let's say, let's go to my daily calendar. I don't look at them here. Some people look at their tasks down here, okay? And I actually look at my tasks in a separate window that is an opening of the calendar file, like this. So my tasks all show up in a calendar file view like this. And I can look at them in any number of what we call quick views. Now, what we're talking about today isn't really the quick views, but I'll explain how my quick views work very quickly. Quick views can be developed as tabs that appear at the top of a file, like the calendar file, and they kind of pull together things like column layouts and filters and sort orders all together into one thing, so that when I click on, for instance, today, these are the things, according to a filter, ordered the way I want, with the columns showing that I want, according to a filter that says, just show Paul the things that he's supposed to do today. Now, it is Monday, and I am going to maybe not do any of these things today. So what I'm really showing you is how I can move these from one day to another. Now, what I'm going to really do is I'm going to go to overdue, because I didn't do very much this weekend. And so getting a new laptop for my daughter didn't happen. Probably not going to happen next Saturday either, but let's not go there. Helping my wife get off Facebook because she doesn't really look at it, probably not going to happen next Saturday, but certainly not going to happen last Saturday. So these are all things that I should have done last Saturday. You can tell by the due date that they were to be done on 3/25. Hoping to really fix that downstairs toilet hose sometime soon, but again, not really sure. I did do some very important things, like trim my nails. I did the checkbook. I changed the water in my fish tanks. I weighed myself, but I haven't recorded it yet, so I'm gonna leave that one alone. Now, these are things I've done, and this mark as completed is also one of those things that's over in quick clicks when you're looking at calendar items that a lot of people overlook. I can very easily say, hey, I did those 3 things, get them out of there. Okay. But as I told you, I did not, and let's get down to the things from Saturday. I did not record my weight, so I'm going to leave that one alone. I'm treating the tank with bacteria. That really should be moved. I'm going to leave weight alone for now. That red laundry basket that's in the garage that Spencer put all that wood in, I got to get that taken care of, but I'm not going to do it until next Saturday. This thing, that thing, Kyle, the guy that's helping me learn how to do something in my studio, refunds from MET. These are all things that I'm going to move to next Saturday. And as you've noticed, I've been control clicking. So I click on one, then I control click the next. I skip over one, I control click the next. Now watch this. I've developed workflows over here that are broken up into this week, next week, 2 weeks out, 3 weeks out, 4 weeks out. I also have a workflow over here that says move to today. It doesn't say that, it just says today. And one that says move to tomorrow. So I can take all these things that I didn't do last Saturday, and I can move them to this Saturday. I don't have to collapse next week, but I just want to keep it all concise in here so you can see it, by simply clicking with these items highlighted on this Saturday. It's going to ask me, are you sure you want to do this? Because you got it set to run for 6 things. There are 6 workflows waiting to run. Are you sure? Yeah, I'm sure. And it's going to go out and it's going to reschedule each of those individual things. And if it's something that's part of a recurring event, it stops and asks me what I want to do. And I just click OK. I'm saying, yeah, just change this one. I'm not changing everything. I'm just changing this one to go to next Saturday. That one too. Some of them will stop for, some of it won't, because some of them aren't parts of recurring events. Apparently, most of the ones here are. That one wasn't. And we're done. Those 6 things just got moved to next Saturday very quickly. Now, to give you an idea of how cool this is, let's say these are the 4 things you didn't get done this day. I can just press Control-A and move them to tomorrow. Some of these are going to ask me, some of them aren't, because some of them are recurring events and some of them aren't. Actually, I think they all are. So all I have to do is click OK 4 times and I'm done. I don't have to go into each individual record and change the date and save it and go back out to the list and go into the next record and change the date. And we'll go ahead and let this go through, and I'll show you that what it does, how quickly it runs when there are not recurring events in the list. So we'll go back to overdue. We're going to get back down to the Saturday stuff. And so this, Mona Lisa's watch list, this TV shows I want to watch. Record Never Alone, Record Blossom. Yeah. Said, Mary Jo's laughing at me because I double-clicked by mistake, and it wanted to open all those records, and it's not going to let me do it.
Yeah, that's why I was laughing, Paul.
Why were you laughing?
I was laughing because you clicked You watch Blossom?
No. Record Blossom is the name of a song. I'm going to record it.
We're thinking that you're a TV show.
I don't even know what Blossom is.
Okay, that's our laugh.
Okay.
We thought it was a show that you watched.
Start scanning pics, help Barb get off Facebook, invite Allbrings to dinner. These are all things that aren't regularly scheduled tasks. Believe me, if you knew the Allbrings, we don't invite them to dinner regularly. But these are things that I've just scheduled, and so I'm going to move them all to this Saturday, and it's just going to go through real quickly. 7 workflows waiting to run, yes. It's going to flash. I usually turn to something else. I start working on something that's on my desk, and when I come back, it's done. I've got attorneys that use this that find it life-changing simply because they are not always doing everything they're supposed to do. And if you've got 12 things that you didn't do today and you want to move them tomorrow, and you have to go into each one, eventually what happens is they just stop doing it, and they just look at their overdue items, and it grows and grows and grows and grows, and they lose things in there. And so what this allows you to do is to maintain a list of things that are being done on certain days, and if you don't get to them, you reschedule them. Now, how did I do that? It's pretty simple. I'm going to go into Manage Workflows, and I'm going to look at one of these. I'm going to look at this week, and I'm going to look at the one that we've been using that moves them to this Saturday. This is a workflow. I'm not going to get too much detail in workflows, because if you don't know what a workflow is, maybe you shouldn't be in here. And if you do, you're probably looking and going, how did he do that? And so I'm going to show you. I'm just changing the source record so that the date due is being advanced. How many days is it being advanced? Well, it depends on whether today is a 1, which means Monday, or a 2, which means Tuesday, or a 3, which means Wednesday, or a 4, which means Thursday, or a 5, which means Friday. If it's a 1, which means today is Monday, and this is the change to Saturday, this Saturday, it's going to add 5 days. It's going to add 5 days to today. If today's Tuesday, which is a 2, it's going to add 4 days to today. It's going to take today's date plus 4. If today is a Wednesday, which is if today equals 3, DOW of today equals 3, then take this value and make it equal to today plus 3. In other words, if it's Wednesday, take Wednesday's, if today is Wednesday, take Wednesday's date and add 3 to it. 3 days. That gets you to Saturday. Now, if you don't understand this, that's fine, okay? Not all of us are nerds like me and Mary Jo and Leanne and Ken. If you just know that this can be done, we can help you do it, okay? But if you understand that, I'd really like to know who you are. Maybe someday you'll work for us. But a lot of our clients do understand this. And so if you understand this, great, more power to you. But if you don't, we can implement something like this for you very, very easily. And we've done it so many times that we can do it pretty quickly too. So that's using workflow to allow you to take calendar items and very quickly reschedule them so that when you look at today's calendar of tasks or an overdue list of tasks, The overdue list really only shows you the things that are overdue that you really, really, really need to focus on, instead of things like fixing the hose in the downstairs toilet, which that may sound like something that's urgent, but really it's not. It's not keeping us from using the bathroom downstairs, and so it gets moved to Saturday, the next Saturday, quite frequently. That's it. And next month, we're going to talk about a little bit more calendar stuff. We're going to talk about calendar rules, which is a piece of software or a service actually on the web that has deadlines for all sorts of states and federal and state court and jurisdictions within those state and federal courts and judges within those jurisdictions, so that when you schedule a trial in the Northern District of Indiana or the same trial in the Eastern District of Michigan, your dates will be accurate based on the local jurisdictional rules. We're going to talk about that and how it works with PracticeMaster. And Mary Jo's going to talk about history tracking, which is being able to tell who changed what field from what to what in a record, so that when somebody messes up and changes the wrong address for the wrong contact, you know what it was before and can go back and fix it.